to AI Insights. My name is Fleur Prince. I'm your host for today, and we are doing a special today to talk about a particular hackathon that's being co-organized. So I'm here together with Ben from Techmakers. So Ben, can you give a short introduction who you are?
Sure, Fleur. Hi, everyone. I'm Benjamin from the tech community that's called Techmakers. We are one of the largest communities in the Netherlands, and we're organizing a lot of events. If you've been around Amsterdam, you've probably been to our monthly tech drinks. And I'm here today to talk about one of the amazing hackathons we are throwing this July in Amsterdam.
That sounds so exciting. Yeah, I'm also one of the co-organizers. So of course, it's exciting. Yeah, so we're doing this special day to talk a bit about why we're organizing, who's involved, and why you should join us. So I think, Ben, you're the best person to maybe tell people, why are we actually doing this?
That's a good question. First, the why. And this is not the first time that Techmakers has organized hackathon. We've done that in the past, and especially at the start of the AI wave that now we're all surfing on. And when it started with OpenAI and their APIs becoming available, we had an amazing turn up. We had exciting companies that got created as a result of that. We had a lot of fun. And I believe you participated in this one, Fleur, and this is where we had also some new open source Dungeons and Dragons that was now put on the market, and that was amazing.
I can't believe that's already 2 years ago when we just started out.
Exactly. And it's still running, and that's really what makes us proud and happy. And that's one of the main driver really of us being part of that community and just stirring things up so that people can have fun, learn, grow, and net and exchange. I think also the best thing that we can hope out of this hackathon is that a lot of people will grow from there and either professionally or maybe start their entrepreneurship journey. But we also think that there's so much now going on with the space that we could help by curating some of the best tech Europe has to offer. And then we can explain it and potentially hint at some use cases that people can explore. And we don't want to keep it too, prescriptive. So people can really come and decide to build whatever they want. But the theme is the power of Europe, because we really believe that Europe has a lot to offer. And sometimes it's really easy, to start using Microsoft Copilot, or you talked about OpenAI earlier, or Claude from Anthropic. Those are amazing, of course, but Europe has a lot to offer as well. And so we brought with us exciting partners from Europe. We have Mistral AI, which I'm sure everybody has heard of by then. We have We Aviate from the Netherlands as well. Really proud to have them with us. We have Koyep from France for infrastructure AI, Orc AI, Kilo, and really proud to work with them because there's really a lot of good that I believe can come out of this hackathon, leveraging their technology.
I think this is so cool because, at least for me, this feels like the first time a hackathon that really is going to go talk everything about AI in Europe. Because, yeah, like you said, there's usually the talks of use OpenAI, use Gemini, use all these, every AI tools outside of Europe. But for the challenge, I think it will be very challenging indeed to have people think outside of the box here.
Exactly. And I think what we want to say, it's not that don't use American tech. I mean, we cannot really live in a world where we don't use tech that's built elsewhere, and we are all interconnected. I mean, I'm sure, for example, you're running a Windows on your laptop or an Android on your phone. So this is really not the message. The message is for us to look at what is sometimes and often underexplored in the tech ecosystem, and look at what's really we have to offer in Europe, and maybe have a bit of time later to talk about it. But some of those tech partners have done a lot of good in 2025. And I can imagine that most people who have not really followed this very closely might not have heard of those things. But really, I think that can change the game for a lot of businesses that are trying to build new solutions nowadays.
No, exactly. I think it's also a good way to show that besides the AI Act that's happening, that Europe has more to offer also when it comes to innovation, because I think that's, at least, I think that's something that's often being forgotten, that we also are the continent of innovation.
Yes, and behind the headlines of the AI Act, and I was in a few conferences about AI Act in the last few weeks, everybody's talking about what do we have to do. I think what we have to do is innovate. That's the first thing. And so those are the events that we need. We need people to come. And I don't want to also make people think that going to a hackathon is scary or intimidating. We're only here being together, as a tech community. We're going to not have, any pressure. We're going to have a day. We're going to have support. We're going to have support from the team here, but also from our partners who know really well, large language models, how to deploy them, how to run them, how to run vector databases, what you can do, what you cannot do. So I believe that we can create a lot of things and have a lot of fun at the same time. And I think not everyone, but a few people potentially will also have the chance to be selected to move on to the next stage, which is also a very exciting event that will happen in Zurich in the month of.
Yeah, I mean, when I read that, I was like, okay, I'm going to Zurich. I don't care if I win or I don't win, but
You might.
but you
Let's
do
see.
indeed. Well, I mean, I built a Dungeons and Dragons in Python when I was doing the first hackathon, so that was pretty cool.
I loved
Though
it.
my have hopefully improved since then. But yeah, this is also the interesting about this hackathon is that it's not just happening in the Netherlands. We're actually doing this simultaneously with a few other partners around Europe where it's happening in different cities, so that it's one big effort.
Exactly. I think just to say a few words, and I don't want to spoil it too much because this will be for people who come to the hackathon and the people who are invited in that special event. But basically, parts of the prizes you'll earn, as usual, credits from our partners. You can use their amazing platforms. I'll come back onto this. But the other part of the prize is that we will actually be scouting and looking for people who have the right profile to be sent to Zurich. And Zurich is an amazing opportunity to have 2 days fully paid trip to Zurich for a hackathon of 2 days. So sometimes, we say one day is not sufficient for hackathon. So we're really here going to bring it to the next stage. And we're going to have way more people and we're going to have what we call in French, la crème de la crème, the best people that made it out of the selection process of every country. This hackathon actually, in a sense, is part of the selection process. And it was initiated also in collaboration with Build Europe. So we're really excited to work with them. But we also have the purpose of this hackathon is, as I mentioned before, is really about the tech ecosystem that we have here in the Netherlands. So we really are excited to achieve two amazing things with this hackathon. And I hope people will also be excited to join us.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is actually a good short summary of why we're organizing it, where it's going to be. So for the repetition for the listeners, it's going to be in Amsterdam on the 26th of July. We will post the link shortly under the post so you can sign up and get yourself registered for the hackathon.
First, I'll go through each partner. I'm really, really happy first to mention Rewire. Rewire, they are our amazing hosts, and this is the first time we will be holding an event with them. We are going to be with them in Amsterdam, and they have an amazing newly renovated office space where we have really breakout areas, amazing areas to work together and to present. There's also a beer machine, so we can also have drinks at the end when we do the demo night. But Rewire is basically specializing in scaling and operationalizing AI for enterprises. They usually bridge that last mile from pilot to production. They really are professionals in that space and extremely relevant to working on this. And I understand that actually some of their engineers will be joining us during the hackathon. Mistral AI, I think we don't need to explain who they are. They are one of the largest and most famous LLM, also open source in Europe, but they have done much more than that. They have a platform where they have now a document AI and coding assistant. They handle multimodal AI and they have very specific domain adapted models as well. There's really, really a lot under the hood of Mistral AI that people should check out. And talking about We Have V8, We Have V8 is a bit less known because it's not something the most mainstream users would use. You only use that mostly as a developer, but this is really what powers a lot of document search, for example. And nowadays, with multimodal and multi-vector embeddings, which is a different way we have of pushing information to a vector database to make it better, we're going to reach new heights of what we can do really in terms of managing information and querying information. That really will give rise to, I'm sure, tons of businesses. We have Koyab. Koyab is a French company and founded by actually a classmate of mine that has done
Oh, so
amazingly.
you know it personally.
Yes, and we are reconnected through this event actually, so I'm really happy to have had this launching. But Koya provides serverless GPU-powered deployment, so you can click and deploy any model of AI. Really, this is like a one-click solution. They have huge, super powerful machines, and the interface is super simple. And you get some credits when you basically sign up, so really perfect for hackathon. Just jump in and get running with the cloud and running models, but any other actual server application can run on their cloud. We have Orc AI as well. So really happy to have that company with us. So Orc AI offers basically a sort of LLM ops platform. I don't know if the term is so mainstream yet. And basically, it helps really put into production and operationalize LLMs, add guardrails, run tests in parallel of different types of LLMs, and ensure compliance. Really, like if any one of us here is listening and trying to get AI into production, I think this is really a good company to start working with to work on the design and operational ability of AI in an enterprise environment. For people building, this is also exciting because you can easily launch and test and work with multiple LLMs. And finally, Kilocode AI is quite exciting. I know a lot of companies now are talking about coding automation and embedding into Visual Studio Code your kind of AI assistant that helps you code faster. But yeah, they have this and they have very good way of operating where they give personality to their operators or to their assistants, and they actually can connect to hundreds of different LLMs. So really like for people who want quality and want to have full control on their coding assistant, this is really exciting.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, thank you so much for mentioning them. Also to give a bit more also idea of okay who's involved in the hackathon. I think that's it for us for this short limited edition episode where we talked about why we're doing this hackathon, who it's for, and why you should join us. Hopefully, we'll see you guys the 26th of July in Amsterdam. Please be sure to sign up in the link below, and we'll see you there. Bye.
See you there. Bye.